Let's go right at it, Brandon. Give it to him.
I love it. Appreciate you guys having me. First off, I want to let's give a huge round of applause to Mark and Kurt for putting this on. Thank you guys so much for having me. So do I have somebody helping me out with the slides, or am I going to magically make this happen? All right, perfect. The AV team, give them a round of applause.
They rock. Mark Prince is in Prince of Darkness.
I love it. All right, so that panel that just got off the stage, phenomenal job, because I agree 100% with what they were saying. And as it relates to lead generation, there is no higher priority in your business outside of generating leads. So what I'm going to teach you guys in the next 5 to 10 minutes is exactly how to generate leads through social media, even though I'm a huge proponent of, and I believe that real estate, listen closely if you're taking notes, is an outbound sales business. I believe that's what real estate is. However, social media is one of the greatest opportunities that we have to attract an audience. The problem is, real estate agents don't know how to use it to generate leads. So, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Fair enough? All right, next slide, please. All right, so there's my goal, okay? There's going to be 3 things I teach you to do in the next probably 5 to 7 minutes. Number 1, I'm going to teach you all how to build a personal brand. Number 2, I'm going to teach you how to position yourself with your audience as an expert, and then I'm going to show you how to generate leads for free. We've got some new agents out here, and we're talking about don't have a sphere of influence. Well, what if there was a world that you did exactly what we laid out to you and you were generating leads for free? How would that change your business? Next slide, please. So, little exercise, okay? Little exercise. Who in here is ready to do burpees? That's right, nobody. Not that kind of exercise. So who in here wants to build a personal brand? Please stand up. Who in here wants to position yourself with the people you know and the people you don't know as an expert? Please stand up. And who in here wants to generate leads for free? Everybody except for one person is standing up. Give yourselves a round of applause. I'm going to teach you how to do all 3. Okay, go ahead, have a seat. All right, so here's the deal. Social media, the number 1 goal of social media is to generate leads, not to become famous, okay? And what you see in the slide right here is, as a byproduct of going out there and generating leads with the tactics and strategies I'm going to give you in just a second, you will build a personal brand and you will position yourself as an expert. But let me show you what realtors do. Does this look familiar? You're supposed to laugh. There you go, thank you. Got one person to laugh at my joke. That's good. Good morning. This is what realtors do. Look at my new open house. Or they're posting these things that don't give great value to the audience. And so I'm going to show you how to change that. So you're going to walk out of this room in 7 minutes with some tactical advice. Because I don't know about you, but when I come to something like this, I want pages of notes on things to take action on. Would you guys agree? Say yes. Thank you. Next slide. All right, so we're going to do these next 3 things, right? So next slide, please. So let's talk about building your brand. Tactic number 1. Tactic number 1 is to create a daily Facebook, Instagram story, okay? Go to the next slide, we're gonna talk about this in great detail. So, your goal with this tactic is to do exactly what Michelle said. Stay top of mind with the people that you want to do business with. Social media right now costs how much? Say it out loud. It starts with a 0? Free. It's free. Never in the history of the world do we have a platform for free. Before social media, we had to use TV, we had to use newspapers, we had to do all these things. Remember, we had to pay for it all. Now it's free. So, we're going to take the advice from Gary Vee. Who in here is a fan of Gary Vaynerchuk? I love it. He gives great advice. He says, document, don't create. Well, when I give this advice, real estate agents ask me, well, Brandon, What do I talk about? What do I do? How many of you today, by a raise of hands, are going to write an offer for one of your clients? Raise your hands. Nobody. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, a couple of you. How many of you are going to log into the MLS at some point today and do something in there? How many of you are going to send an email? How many of you are going to follow up with a client? How many of you are going to go to a closing? The point is, you're doing something in relation to your business, and what Gary talks about is, dude, you don't have to create anything. Just do what you're already doing. And we all have this magical device, everybody hold them up. It's called a phone. We're actually going to do this right now. So my light people, can you turn down the lights for a second, please? And this was the coolest thing I ever saw. So who in here is a fan of Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels? Okay, one guy. Perfect. This will work well. Turn on your flashlights, if you guys could, for me. And of course, mine doesn't work because, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Turn on your flashlights. We're going to turn, can you guys, all right, perfect. Can we turn the lights down too?
Takes a little bit to get the lights on.
Oh, it's tough. All right, no worries.
There you go.
There we go. So what I want you guys all to do now is grab your phones, take a selfie. I see you guys all been taking selfies all morning, so don't tell me you know how to do this. And you can either go video or photo. Grab a photo. It'd be a lot cooler if all the lights were off, but that's okay. And what you can do now is post on your social media and talk about the fact that you're pouring into your business as a real estate agent, you're taking this seriously, and that would be an example of a daily story that you could create. Because guess what? You didn't have to come up with a content strategy, you're already here. Does that make sense? You guys with me on this? Say yes? So as you're out there showing properties, as you're out there doing open houses, as you're out there going on a listing presentation, I think we're gonna try that again. All right, now that this will be really cool, let's do this again. Mark, will you grab one of me and text it to me, please? With all these lights all nice and dark. Come on, one more time. Get your lights on. Thank you so much. So now we're gonna grab a picture, because I'm gonna do the same thing. Mark's gonna text it to me, I hope, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, run that. Good? All right, so every single day, 5 days a week, you gotta ask yourself, okay, what am I doing right now? Even if, so my claim to fame as well is calling for sale by owners. It's probably the fastest, best way for you guys all to go get listings. Why you don't call them, I don't know. But if you're doing anything to do with your real estate business, pull your phone up, grab a picture, shoot a short video, talk to the audience about what you're doing, and you gotta ask yourself, okay, why am I doing this? It's because you want the people that you want to do business with seeing you in action, right? Top of mind awareness. It's like, damn, every day Susie's doing stuff. She's gotta be pretty successful. I feel comfortable reaching out to her when I need to sell my home. You guys with me? All right, cool. Next slide. Now, let's talk about positioning yourself as an expert. Here's the tactic. This is when the whole room leaves. You guys ready for this? You're going to create a weekly real estate show. Good, no one left. All right, let's talk about what I mean. Next slide. The podcast guys back there are giving me an applause. I appreciate you guys. You guys get it. All right, so here's the deal. Here's what I mean by this. So now you're out there on social media every single day. The next thing you have to do with your audience in order for them to reach out to you so that they feel confident and comfortable listing their home with you is you have to position yourself with your audience as an expert. Okay, here's how you're gonna do that. You're gonna create and host a live video show on your Facebook or Instagram every single week. Now stay with me. Let me get through this entire thing and it'll make sense. You're gonna create a branded local real estate show, okay? The content is gonna position you as an expert. Here are some ideas. There are 4 weeks in a month. If you did a show once a week, there's 4 video shows that you can create, okay? The first show that you can create, the first week of every month, is you jumping on Facebook Live. The same day, the same time each week, and you can create some branding around it with some Facebook banners. You start inviting all the people and start building some influence there. But the first show is a real estate market update. Download the stats from your MLS. and communicate those stats out to your audience, right? Here's your list of sold price ratio. Here's the average days on market. Here's how many listings hit the market in Novi. So on and so forth. Position yourself as an expert. You can even bring in maybe a local loan officer with you on your show, and you can do this through Zoom, going live in Facebook and Instagram. Show number 2, real estate tips and strategies. Okay, one of the greatest things you can do to build influence with your audience and position yourself as an expert is teach. Well, how to get buyers to overpay for your home. You think homeowners would want to know the answer to that? When you give them the answer, you automatically build some influence. Next, local business owner interviews. So you can grab the person that just opened the new bar downtown Novi and say, dude, I want to help grow your business. I'll promote it to my entire audience. Just join me on Zoom. You interview him or her. You're building influence with the community. And then the 4th one that I like to do is interviewing one of my referral partners. One of my divorce attorneys, one of my CPAs, one of my financial planners, people that pour into my industry or into my business. I then want to do the same thing for them. So there's 4 show ideas. You're going to record this via Zoom. It's on live Facebook, Instagram. Then you can download it, upload it to your YouTube, do all that kind of stuff. And then you're gonna send this out weekly to your entire database as a piece of content, proactively. You don't have to create something new. You should be emailing your database of your sphere of influence, past clients, centers of influence every single week through your database. This is what you can email them every single week. You can email them the recording of your show. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Now, let's talk about generating leads. Okay, this is all going to come together in just a second. You have to create a lead magnet. Who knows what I'm talking about? Raise your hand. I forgot I'm in a room of realtors. Okay. That's supposed to be funny. You guys are, come on, laugh. All right, next slide, please. I'm going to show you what I mean by this. Here's the tactic. If you want to generate leads, this is what you must do. A lead magnet is an exchange of contact information for a thing of value. Okay, I'm going to explain this to you right now. So here are some lead magnet ideas that work. Okay, you guys can all create a recorded video talking about how to get buyers to overpay for a seller's home. Do you think homeowners would want to know the answer to that? Is it provocative enough that a seller says, wait a minute, imagine calling a for sale by owner and saying, hey, what I'd like to do is this. I'd like to send you a video on how you, the for sale by owner, can get somebody to overpay for your home. Would that be okay? What would they say every time? Okay, it's a pre-recorded video. To make it even easier on you, because, you know, let's be real, the reality of people making this video, maybe you do, maybe you don't. To make this easier, it could be a PDF download. You could have 10 ways that you can get buyers to overpay for your house. So at the beginning of the show, if I'm interviewing Mark, and these guys are on my show, and they're local business owners, and we're on my podcast, I'm going to say at the beginning of the show, hey, before we get started, everybody listening to this, if you want to find out how to get buyers to overpay for your home, just go to my website, Mulrenin.com. You can download it for free. So, guys, and then you jump into the show. So this is how you're getting your audience to take action. They go to a website, and they download one of this in exchange for their contact information. Now think about this. Let me pause. Who are the people that want to know the answer to that question? Say it out loud and scream it. Sellers! Right? Didn't you give me a little drum roll? Good job. Now, let me put all this into some context for you. Go to the next slide, please. How many of you want to see this lead magnet that I use, which I just showed you what it is? How many of you want to see this or get a copy of this? Raise your hand. Okay, if you want a copy of my video on how I get buyers to overpay for a seller's home, just send me an email to brandon@reverseselling.com and we will send you a copy. Now let me put a nice little bow on top of this for the audience. Go to the next slide. I just did this to all of you. Let me explain. How did I build my brand? I showed up. How many of you knew who I was before I got on the stage? Now how many people know me? Everybody. That's how I built my brand. I showed up. How are you going to build your brand? Show up, get the phone on you. You guys with me? Number 2, I gave you tactical strategies to build your business, to position myself as the expert, giving you advice. You're doing the same thing with your audience, giving people tactical advice on how to manage this real estate market, how to navigate getting their offers accepted, how to get properties sold for the highest price. And then 3, how did I just generate a whole bunch of leads for my coaching business? I just got them all to email me their emails. That's how you generate leads, through a lead magnet. What was my lead magnet? I just did it to you guys. You guys get it? Say yes. Thank you guys so much for having me.